This cute little 5-row repeat is so easy to master if you know how to do double crochet, single crochet, chains, and treble crochets. It's great for blankets, for scarves, and if you want to work it into a bigger pattern, it's pretty easy to do that too because they are just squares. Actually, you don't even have to join them. It's just however many squares you want to make. This sample I made with Karen Simply Soft in this light gray color. I will do this demo in yellow Karen Simply Soft. This is the color Sunshine. The recommended hook size is 5.5 millimeters, and because I want it to be a little bit of a tighter stitch rather than a looser stitch, I think it just looks better in this very holy pattern. In a tighter crochet, I will be using a smaller hook. This is a Loops and Threads 4.5 millimeter hook. To start, I'm going to make a slip knot. For this pattern, we'll need to chain in a multiple of 12 plus 2. So feel free to chain as many as you like, as long as it's a multiple of 12. And at the very end, add 2. We're going to do 38, so 36 plus 2. So that is the foundation chain. We'll work the first row in the bumps in the back of the chain, but if you prefer to go through the stitches instead, that's fine too, whatever you like. The first row is all double crochet, and to get started, we're going to chain 3, 1, 2, 3. Those 3 chains count as your first double crochet in the row. So you will be double crocheting into the 4th bump, 1, 2, 3, 4, in the back of your chain. Now double crochet in every single little bump in the back of your foundation chain, all the way to the end, back where we started. At the end of row 1, chain 3, and turn. At the beginning of every row, the chain 3 will count as your first double crochet, so you will not be double crocheting into that first base stitch. Row 2. Double crochet into the second stitch from your hook and double crochet into the 3rd stitch. Now, chain 3, 1, 2, 3, skip a stitch and treble crochet into the following stitch. Again, skip a stitch and treble crochet into the following stitch. Again, skip a stitch and treble crochet into the following stitch. And for the last time, skip a stitch and treble crochet into the following stitch. So you'll have something that looks like this. So you have the 3 double crochets at the beginning of the row, skip a stitch, treble crochet, skip a stitch, treble crochet, skip a stitch, treble crochet, skip a stitch, treble crochet. Now we're going to chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and skip a stitch, and now we're going to do 3 double crochets in a row. 1, 2, 3. And you'll have something that looks like this. So again, we have 3 double crochets, skip, treble, skip, treble, skip, treble, skip, treble, skip with the 3 chains on top, and then 3 double crochets. Next up, we're going to chain 3 again, 1, 2, 3, and you guessed it, skip, treble, skip, treble, skip, treble, skip, treble, skip. Did I say that 4 times? We're going to do 4 treble crochets, skipping a stitch before and after each one. So we've chained 3, skip a stitch, treble into the following stitch, skip a stitch, treble into the following stitch, skip a stitch, treble into the following stitch, skip a stitch, treble into the following stitch. You should have 4 treble crochets with a skip stitch in between each one. Now we're going to chain 3, skip the next stitch, and then do 3 double crochets. 1, 2, 3. So now you've repeated that twice. And for this last part, we're going to repeat that again. So chain 3, skip a stitch, treble, skip a stitch, treble, skip a stitch, treble, skip a stitch, treble, and skip a stitch, chain 3, and then 3 double crochets, 1 in each of the last 3 stitches in this row. 1, 2, and the third one goes in the top of that turning chain 3. Not that easy. So this is your second row. It's a little wonky right now, but when you keep going, it'll square off. At the end of the second row, we're going to chain 3, and again, this counts as a double crochet, and we're going to turn our work. Row 3. Since this counts as the double crochet, we're not going to crochet into that first base stitch, but we will do 1 double crochet in each of the next 2 stitches. So double crochets on top of the double crochets. Now we're going to chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and on top of each of these treble crochets, at the top of each of these 4 stitches, we're going to put 1 single crochet. So 1 single crochet at the top of each of these treble crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now we're going to chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and we will double crochet on the top of each of these double crochets. There are 3 of them. Should look something like this. Next, we're going to chain 3, and we're going to do the same thing here. So a single crochet on the top of each of these trebles. So you'll have 4 single crochets. Now we're going to chain 3, and we're going to put 1 double crochet on top of each of these 3 double crochets. Chain 3. Again, 1 single crochet on top of each of these trebles. Chain 3. To finish off the row, 1 double crochet on top of each of these double crochets. That's your 3rd row done. At the end of the row, chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and turn. This is row 4, and just like all of the other rows, the chain 3 at the beginning of this row counts as your double crochet, so you will not double crochet into that first base stitch. So you're going to put 1 double crochet each in the next 2 stitches just on top of the other double crochets. 1, 2. Row 4 is pretty much a repeat of row 3, so we're going to do 3 chains, 1, 2, 3. Now we're going to put 1 single crochet on top of each of the bottom single crochets, 1, 2, 3, 4. So 1 single crochet on top of each single crochet. Now we're going to chain 3, and we're going to put 1 double crochet on top of each of the double crochets from the previous row. Now we'll chain 3, and we're going to repeat. So put 1 single crochet on top of each single crochet from the previous row, so 4 in total. Chain 3, 1 double crochet on top of each double crochet from the previous row, so 3. 1, 2, 3. Chain 3, 1 single crochet on top of each single crochet in the previous row. 1, 2, 3, 4. Chain 3, and the last 3 stitches are all double crochet, 1 double crochet on top of each double crochet in the previous row. So we're going for 3. This is what you should have at the end of row 4. Row 5, this is the last row of our repeat. We're going to chain 3 like we've done with every other row, and we're going to turn. Again, that chain 3 counts as the first double crochet in your row. So we will put 1 double crochet in each of the next 2 stitches on top of the last row's double crochets. So 2 double crochets. Now, chain 1. Now we're going to treble into the single crochet from the previous row. Again, chain 1, treble into the next single crochet from the previous row. Repeat, chain 1, treble into the next single crochet in the previous row. Chain 1, and then treble into the last single crochet from the previous row. Chain 1. Now double crochet into each double crochet from the previous row. 1, 2, 3. So you see the squares coming together. We're going to repeat what we just did for the second square. So chain 1, now treble into the first single crochet in the row below, chain 1, treble into the next single crochet from the row below, chain 1, treble into the next single crochet from the row below, chain 1, treble into the final single crochet from the row below, chain 1. Now we're going to put 1 double crochet in each of the double crochets from the row below, so 3 in total. Double crochet into the top of the double crochet, 1, 2, 3. That's 2 squares, almost done. For the last part of this row, we're going to repeat. So chain 1, and then treble into the single crochet from the row below, chain 1, treble into the next single crochet from the row below, chain 1, treble into the next single crochet from the row below, chain 1, and treble into the final single crochet from the row below, chain 1, and to finish off this row, we will place 1 double crochet on top of each double crochet from the row below, so 3 double crochets. 1, 2, and 3. The last one is always a little tricky. So that is your 5-row repeat. And you can see it's coming together. Let's do one more row, and this will be the first row repeated, and it's just double crochet in every stitch all the way across the top. What do we start with? We start with a chain 3. 1, 2, 3, and we turn our work, remembering that that chain 3 counts as the first double crochet in the row. So we're going to place a double crochet in the second base stitch and then a double crochet in the third one. But now we're going all the way across with double crochet, and the important thing is to not forget to double crochet into the chain 1s. So just be very careful and make sure you wedge your hook into that little stitch. Not the easiest, but I do think it is not that hard with a medium weight yarn. I think if you used a fine yarn, it would be slightly harder to get your hook into that chain stitch. Of course, you can probably go into the chain space with no ramifications, but giving it the old college try. So we're going to double crochet all the way across, and then you will really see this pattern start to come together. So that is 6 rows of our 5-row repeat. So row 1, double crochet, row 2 with the trebles, row 3, row 4 with the singles, row 5 with the trebles, and then we repeated row 1 to make it look all nice and even. And you can obviously continue this for as long as you like. Here's a slightly longer version. Thanks so much for watching, and I will see you next time.